everyone. Today we are going to be talking about Ozarks Technical Community College, better known as OTC. Today, some topics that we're going to be going over are reasons to love OTC. We'll be talking about some programs that we offer. We'll talk about financial aid, A+, and the admissions process. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So my name is Mackenzie Steelman, and I'm an admissions representative here at OTC. Basically, I work in admissions, and my job is to help students through the whole admissions process, help you work through different programs, at least thinking about what different programs you might be interested in, and just kind of starting with the whole preliminary part of getting ready for college. So, a little bit about OTC is that OTC is actually the fastest growing community college in the state, which is pretty incredible. We currently serve around 11,000 students, and we have 6 campuses, and we also serve online students. OTC really tries to keep our tuition low so that students don't have to go into a lot of debt. So we have the area's lowest tuition cost. We also offer a lot of different financial aid and scholarship opportunities for students to help with their cost of tuition and attendance. So some reasons to love OTC. I already mentioned the affordability and that we have the area's lowest tuition. We have a high employability rate. You definitely see this with our allied health and technical fields that our students are in high demand after graduation. We also have a lot of convenience. So the great thing is with college is that you get to choose your schedule. If you want to work in the day or in the evening, weekend, online classes, you name it. You get to kind of make your schedule work for you. We also have small class sizes, so this is phenomenal. This is a really great way to get plugged in and get to know your instructors. It's a lot less intimidating to ask questions in a room full of 24 people, which is about the max for a class size, as opposed to asking a question in a room full of 100 or more. So the average class size is about 17, so that really makes it very convenient for getting to know your classmates and instructor. We have something for everyone, and we'll go into this a little bit more here shortly, but we offer associate's degrees and certificates. So the associate's degrees that we offer, some are transfer degrees, so they help with the first 2 years of general education to help transfer to a 4-year school afterwards. We also have Associate of Applied Science, which are mainly for our technical fields and allied health to help students go into the workforce after 2 years. And then we have the certificates, which are 1 year, and they are a lot more specific and narrowed, and they're only 1 year, and they're also designed to go into the workforce after that. We also have really amazing resources for our students. Most, if not all of them, are free. So we offer free tutoring. We have open computer labs for students that have free printing as well. We have a writing center, a fitness center, library, etc. We also have first class faculty. So I know from a lot of people that I work with or went to school with while I went to OTC, they really we really do have first class faculty. I was blessed that both at OTC and the school that I transferred to had really great experiences at both, but I can honestly say that my all-time favorite faculty were here at OTC. I mentioned before that we have 6 locations. So we have Springfield, Nixa, Hollister, Waynesville, Lebanon, Republic, and then online. Last but not least, we have a high transferability rate. So we have a lot of students that will start here and then they'll transfer all over the state of Missouri. We have a lot, probably the most will go to Missouri State. And the cool thing is that we actually have representatives from both Missouri State and Drury that will work on campus, and they help students from day one transfer, or they go through the transfer process. They look at the different degree programs of study, and they help students from day one make sure that they take the classes that they need to maximize their time and money while here at OTC. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into the actual programs of study. So we have transfer opportunities, allied health, and technical programs, and we'll dive into each one individually. So for our transfer degrees, these are going to be your 2 years of general education, and some of them will have an emphasis in a specific field. But if you are one of those students that honestly has no idea what you want to do, first of all, let me say that you are very much in the majority. Um, most students don't know what they want to do after they graduate high school. I know I didn't. So I want to actually point your attention to the General Education Associate of Arts. This is a very well-rounded Associate of Arts degree, and it's really designed to help you get those preliminary classes out of the way. And I always encourage students that with the electives that come with it, to dabble in other fields to kind of see what you could be interested in. We also have another resource that I didn't mention before, which is the career services, that if you don't know what it is that you want to do, they can help you with that as well. For our allied health programs, if you're interested in the medical fields or anything like that, this is a slide that you need to pay attention to see if we have a program that would be a good fit for you. So some of our most popular programs are nursing and dental assisting and dental hygiene. They are by far the most competitive, but we have highly successful allied health programs pretty much across the board. So we have occupational therapist assistant, physical therapist assistant, respiratory therapy, which is pretty fitting with everything that's going on these days. But we have lots of different options. So over on the left side, you'll see the Associate of Applied Science. Then over on the right, you'll see the Certificate of Achievement. So the Associates is the 2-year program, Certificate is the 1-year program. Now, one thing that I do want to make mention with the allied health field is that they have a selective admission. So what that means, well, let me take a step back. OTC in general has open admission. So basically, as long as you apply, you are able to take classes here. Now, with the allied health programs, they have their own admissions process. So how it'll work, we'll say, for example, you are interested in behavioral health support. So they have pre-admission requirements or classes that you have to take before you can get into the program. So you would apply to general OTC, you would take whatever specific classes are needed to as kind of a prerequisite or a pre-admissions class to get into the behavioral health support. After you complete those classes, you can then submit the application to get into the allied health program of your choice. So that's kind of how that works. Yeah, so that's a little bit about the allied health programs. Let's go ahead and move on to technical education. Now, a lot of people think of construction or welding or automotive whenever they hear technical education, but as you can see from this list here, there's a wide variety of different programs that we offer. Honestly, there's probably the most variety in this section of types of classes that we offer. So if you're interested in aviation, after 2 years, you can get your pilot's license, which is astounding. We also have culinary arts. So we're actually one of the few institutions in the state of Missouri that has culinary arts as an associate's and certificate. If you want to go into firefighting, you can do that as well. But as you can see, there's a lot of different options that you could go into. If, as I was going through all the different programs, if you saw many that stood out to you and you're like, oh, I want to do all of them, or maybe you didn't see one, or you just don't have a sense of direction, I would really encourage you to check out Career Coach, and that link is right here. This is a really great place to help discover majors and in-demand careers in education that can help you kind of get a sense of direction or just educate yourself on what all is out there. And if you had questions about information on there or just information about career counseling or things like that, you could definitely speak to the career advisors that I was talking about earlier, and they would be able to have a conversation with you to see kind of what would be a good fit for you in your future. All right, so that is kind of a lot, but now let's go ahead and dive into just a very basic overview of financial aid. If you are interested in kind of delving deeper into financial aid, we do have a separate video that I recommend checking out. So we have several different types of financial aid. We have free money and not free money. So of course, I always recommend students to go ahead and go after the free money first, which kind of makes sense. That's money you don't have to pay back. So the first one is grants. So this can be federal or state. Most common, it comes from the Pell Grant, which is need-based. So whenever you fill out the FAFSA or free application for federal student aid, the Pell Grant is an immediate, or you can receive the Pell Grant as a result of your income status from 2 years ago. We also have the Missouri A Plus program, and I will talk about that here in a second. We also have scholarships. So OTC has two different types of scholarships. We have institutional and foundation, but you can also apply for other third-party scholarships. But one thing I do want to say, if you ever have to pay to apply for a scholarship, it is a scam. Do not do it. And then last but not least, we have work study. So this is where you get to work part-time on campus. And the great thing with this is that they have to work with your school schedule. So while you're on campus, might as well try and work there and get some extra money. And then we also have the not free money. So these are student loans. So this is money that you do have to pay back. So there's two different types. There's subsidized and unsubsidized. If you have questions about taking out loans, I always recommend talking to a financial aid advisor first to see if you've exhausted all other possible resources and things like that. But then we can also help you with the applications for all of these if you have any questions about any of these different types of financial aid. All right, so let's talk about A+. This is a phenomenal opportunity for students in the state of Missouri. OTC has the largest number of A+ recipients in the state of Missouri, and that's absolutely amazing. But the A+ scholarship, in case you aren't familiar with it, it's a state-funded scholarship, and it gives students the opportunity to go to school at a community college or a technical or vocational school to earn an associate's or certificate pretty much for free. It gets their tuition and common fees paid for. And in order to be eligible for A+, students have to complete a series of different requirements while in high school. Now, if you're in high school and you have questions or you want to see if you can be eligible for A+, go ahead and talk to your school counseling office to see if you can do that, because it's definitely worth it. So as I mentioned before, A+ does cover the cost of tuition and common fees. So this is going to be the bulk of your cost while in school. The only thing that it doesn't pay for is the cost of books or program-specific fees. But the thing is, if you apply for additional scholarships, so for example, OTC has the A+ Advantage scholarship, as well as other scholarships, those can be stackable with your A+. So if you play your cards right, if you apply for those scholarships and you're smart with your money, you can go to school for free. So in order to use your A+, you have to be a full-time student. So that's 12 credit hours a semester for the fall and spring, and 6 credit hours for the summer. So during the fall and spring semesters, that's about 4 classes, and in the summer, if it's optional, but if you wanted to take classes, then it'd be about 2 classes. In your first semester in college, you have to have a 2.0 GPA, and after your first semester, you have to maintain a 2.5 GPA. If you're interested in using your A+ at OTC, this is kind of the process. So you would have to first submit your application, and it's a pretty simple application. And it is free. So the first step is you would have to create an account, and then you would submit the application. The next step is that you will need to give us your official high school transcript after you graduate. And you want to make sure that it has the A+ seal. because this is the proof from your school to ours that you completed the A+ program. You have to be degree seeking while at OTC. You have to be enrolled as a full-time student, and then every year you have to complete the FAFSA, free application for federal student aid. And it's also important to mention that you need to list OTC as the school to receive info. Now, this may seem like a lot. I know I am throwing a lot of information at you guys, but do not worry if you guys have any questions about anything. We want to help you. So we will walk you through this entire process if needed. So always feel free to reach out to us and we're happy to help. So if you are interested in OTC, which you definitely should be, this is the admissions process for actually how to become a student here. So you have to submit an application, complete the FAFSA, give us your official high school transcript, complete guided self-placement. So I'm going to pause here real quick and tell you guys that we don't require the ACT or the SAT. So there you go. So instead, we have what's called guided self-placement. So this helps determine if a student or yourself is ready for collegiate level English and math. Next, you would complete a STAR seminar. Basically, this is an in-person student orientation that shows you how to navigate your student portal, how to plan your classes, register for classes, and all of that stuff. So after you do that, you'll be able to actually register and officially become an OTC Eagle. And that is it. If you guys are interested in OTC, feel free to check us out on social media. We keep things posted and updated with cool things that are going around on campus. I also recommend that you take a tour. If there were some programs that I talked about that was really intriguing to you, or if you just kind of want to get a feel for campus, take a tour. That's going to be one of the best ways that you can kind of do research when looking at colleges. So we unfortunately are not doing any group tours, but we are doing individual and virtual. And you can find that link right there. If you guys have any questions, feel free to email explore@otc.edu. We will be more than happy to help. And guys, thank you so much for listening. I hope you have a great day.